And welcome back. Shout out to Anchor.
Thank you, Anchor.
For obviously sponsoring us, as you heard.
Yeah,
Man.
thank you. Big thank you to Anchor. Without them,
like we said, we got a lot to catch up on. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that has happened in the last week and a half, from games to no-hitters to signings. I mean, there's been everything in the last week and a half.
So we're just going to skip all of these games, except we will obviously talk about Saturday's insanity. I don't even know what you want to call it, but Braves have won 5 of the last 6 games, and we're looking good. MLB doesn't think so. We dropped 6 places in the power rankings over the last week, even though we're 5-1. But power rankings are clickbait. Power rankings are complete clickbait. So who cares?
I don't even care about.
I mean,
power rankings are literally
I know the Dodgers are like really struggling right now, but there's no way they cannot be top 5. I'm sorry. Like, there's just...
no disrespect to the Giants, but 2, really?
How?
I mean, like, listen, the Giants are a good team, but realistically, are the Giants gonna be there in the? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they have a potential wild card team. You know, with how good that pitching staff has got off to a great start. But
yeah.
You think they're gonna sustain that for 5 months with Aaron Sanchez? I mean, listen, our good friend, obviously Alex Wood, he's been outstanding, but. I mean, there's nobody on that. I mean, they've impressed me. Don't get me wrong, but they've also played a lot of easy teams. But I think they actually did win the series against the Padres. The Padres have really. I mean, I don't even know what to say about the Padres. Honestly.
Padres have kind of been like meh.
It's been underwhelming considering the hype coming into this season for both the Padres and the Dodgers and the
Mets and the Braves.
Giants have taken. The Giants have taken advantage of it. I gave them a lot of credit. They've taken advantage of it, and hey, ride with it.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I think where do we even start with all these moves? I don't even know. We'll just start from the very first day of the month, because do we have anything to talk about from April 30th? Okay. So we transferred Mike Soroka to the 60-day IL. That's not a setback. It's just standard protocol. He's still on the right track.
It's also that day for the beginning of the year. Yep. So.
And also that day we recalled Edgar Santana, activated Sean Newcomb from the IL, optioned Bryce Wilson to the alternate training site. I'm so glad that we're not going to have to say alternate training site anymore. But
that's one of the great things about. We can finally say we sent him to AAA. We don't have to say this. We don't have to say this stupid alternate site stuff. That got really irritating. Like, I mean,
even last year.
I'm really glad. I'm just glad. You can go to a minor game for like $5. Those are good games. Easy to get a baseball, fun games, fun time. I mean, I love going to those games.
Yeah, and
Gwinnett.
We need to talk about Gwinnett, because they're basically an all-star team right now. They might be better than the Atlanta Braves. Honestly, they hit like 16 homers in their first series, something like that.
Did you see that stat? I guess we'll talk about it. Probably here, but Orlando Arcia had a 3-homer game yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did see that. Didn't we hit? I think it was like 15 or 16 home runs in the first series alone by the Gwinnett Stripers.
It was crazy. I mean,
what's going on down there?
I mean, Ender Inciarte is tearing the cover off the ball. I mean, don't be surprised if Ender Inciarte gets called up here and we send Pache down here soon. I think it's only a matter of time before that happens. The way Ender's swinging the bat and how Pache's been struggling. I mean, Pache, I just don't think his bat's MLB ready. I don't think he was really ready. He got forced into the lineup. Obviously, Guillermo Heredia got sent, he got put on the IL at the beginning of the month with a right hamstring inflammation. Hopefully, he can be back here in a few days. And then Ender's just been tearing the cover off the ball. And Pache, I mean, he had a grand slam when he came back, but other than that, nothing.
I don't know if we talked about this in the last episode, but we also we have signed a few people for the bullpen, which is a good sign. We will talk about the big one in a little bit, but I don't know if we talked about this in the last episode, but we signed Jesse Chavez to a minor league deal. Did we talk about that in the last episode? Do we remember? I don't know.
I think we did.
Did we talk about Jesse Chavez? I think he was last with the Braves in 2010. 2009, 2010. I don't know, but I don't know. An old familiar face. He doesn't look the same as he used to. He's got the specs on now, and I don't know. Interesting look, but glad to have him back. I guess he hasn't appeared in a game yet. He has not been called up yet, but who knows? I think we definitely do need some bullpen help, but we got some on the way, and we'll talk about that in more detail in a bit. But so moving on to May, we recalled Christian Pache after he was in the at the alternate training site. Was down there for a bit. We also placed Guillermo Heredia on the 10-day IL, retroactive to April 30th, with the right hamstring inflammation. I think that's definitely something that most of you should probably know by now. But he should be coming back from that injury at some point, unless he's going to be injured for longer than 10 days, because it's been 9 days since that. So, we're talking about 10 guys being placed on the IL 10 days ago, because we haven't recorded in that long. So
Ender or Heredia, are one of those guys is going to be starting in center field, I would think, by next homestand would be my guess, unless Pache,
which starts tomorrow. Well, I guess that.
Well, I say the next, whenever we come, or after the Brewers series, I would say after that, maybe even before that. But we play the Mets next Monday, and that's gonna be a big series at home. It's gonna be a big series. That will be a big series. Obviously, the Mets right now tickets. A game and a half up.
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets. Pack out Truist Park. I hope I can go next week.
The Mets.
I'm hoping.
Mets, Braves. I am surprised those tickets aren't more expensive right now, because those are two teams that you have really got to keep your eye on.
One of the big blows to that also is big news coming out of New York.
Yes.
Jacob deGrom put on the 10-day DL with, I believe it was
IL.
Hip. Sorry, IL. My apologies. The IL with a right hip inflammation or tightness or something like that.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
Something around something with his hip. He got pulled warming up in the 6th inning of yesterday's game, so Sunday, and I mean, obviously another dominating start, and just gets, after the start before, he got scratched, and then I feel like they forced it too much. I mean, you probably have the best player on the planet outside of Mike Trout, and you're forcing him back with the NL East lead. It just didn't make too much sense to me. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of like it was a forced thing, and I didn't personally like it, especially this early in the season. But if he is headed to the 10-day DL.
IL. And if this turns out to be a little bit of a worse injury than we had thought, that would be basically sum up the entire Mets franchise. So, good on you, New York.
DeGrom, Lindor's hitting like 190 for them after getting paid $340 million. Would
you rather have Francisco Lindor, or would you rather have Oscar Yanoa?
I think I'll take Yanoa.
Yeah, I think so too. But anyways, I'm just going through everything on the MLB transaction log, so just to catch up, make sure I don't miss anything. So, yes, Heredia should be coming back at some point. So May the 2nd, we weren't even able to talk about this. Travis d'Arnaud, very bad news for Braves catching core. Alex Jackson also went down, but let's just talk about Travis d'Arnaud, because that's Alex Jackson. Who cares? I'm sorry, no offense to Alex Jackson, but
listen, no disrespect to Alex Jackson, but he was kind of hurting the team.
He couldn't hit. He was hitting like 050 for the year. I mean, did he even get it? I mean, yes,
the only reason he was on the team to be Oscar Yanoa's personal catcher, and clearly it wasn't even Alex Jackson. Oscar Yanoa is just a stud. It doesn't matter who's catching behind the plate.
Yeah. And then, so we lost our catching tandem all within that Blue Jays series in Dunedin. So d'Arnaud is out with was something fractured, I think, or
It was a left thumb. It was a sprain. That's all that was said. But
I
he
know
got
that's
put on
all.
a 60-day.
I don't see how
So
I mean a sprain.
yeah.
To
I
get
don't think. I
surgery with
think
a
they.
sprain. I think that's kind of.
I think there was. I think what. I don't know if I saw a tweet that said there was maybe partial tear. I don't remember.
Yeah, that would make more
But
sense. That
obviously
would make a lot more
60
sense.
day, 60 day. There's no way that's a sprain. That doesn't even make any sense. How you can go to a
Yeah.
60-day deal with a sprained thumb?
Yeah. So
That's like
Darno's
jamming
gonna.
your thumb.
I think Darno is. I mean, word is he should be back by the end of the year, but you know, at this point, who knows?
Contreras is hitting. The way William Contreras is hitting, I don't think it seems like this is Contreras' time, and he's taken advantage of it so far. And there have been a little bit of obviously we knew his defense wasn't. It's good, but it's not up there with the elite yet. But obviously we know Wilson Contreras, his brother, very good defensively. So I think he'll be fine defensively. He made those 2 errors on Saturday, but I think it's a learning thing. He'll be fine. He's young, 22 years old, I believe, or 23, one of those. I'm not sure exactly. Let's see. He is 23 years old, so young guy, another one of those young guys coming out for the Braves. So
he's going to be a part of this core team for a long time. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see when Shea Langeliers is ready, because, I mean, he hasn't played a game. Well, I guess he probably has played a game now that the minor league season is underway, but before the season, he hadn't played a game above A ball. So that's why he's not up, because, obviously you need to play a little bit more in the minors and have a little bit more experience before you get called up to the majors. So
especially for a catcher, it's a lot different for other positions, but catchers specifically, you need that in-game learning.
And obviously
the lower levels.
He was drafted out of Baylor. I mean, I know that typically guys drafted out of college are a little bit more major league ready, but I think there's still a big learning curve. Obviously, there's probably something else to it as to why where is Shea Langeliers starting this season? Is he in AA or single A? I don't know. I think he's at Mississippi.
I believe he's in AA. I haven't seen him on the AAA roster. I believe most of it I saw was Morales, I think, starting at AAA. Okay. I want to say
Morales is
I don't unless he's the backup catcher, which wouldn't make much sense. I would think he would be at AA. So
our catchers in the minor leagues have really developed. I've been really impressed. Morales has been really very, very good as well. Everyone
other catching news with obviously Jackson going down and Travis d'Arnaud to the IL.
Well, but we got to talk about Jeff Mathis. No, you got to talk about Jeff Mathis.
Yes, we did. Sorry. Yes.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here. We'll get to
that. We did select Jeff Mathis's contract on, was that the second? The second. The same day. Both the catchers. So basically we had 4 catchers transactions on Sunday of last week, with obviously d'Arnaud and Jackson getting hurt, and then called up Contreras and selected Jeff Mathis's contract.
Yeah.
And that was the crazy day of catching transactions.
And it got even crazier 2 days later, but we'll get to that in just a second. Yes. But first, there was a transaction on May the 3rd. We optioned Nate Jones to the alternate training site. More on him in a bit. And then May 4th, we recalled Sean Kazmar. He got one more at bat. He grounded out, and then he was sent back down, it still makes me so mad. Like, he's getting this. Sean Kazmar is getting the Chad Sabatka treatment. I mean, it's just like, what are we doing? Like
he's not even given a real chance.
I mean, we're giving Camargo so many looks, and like, what about the guy who's fought 13 years to have a couple ABs? I mean, like, give the guy a shot. One give him a start. Give Austin Riley a day off. I know he's been red hot, which may not be a great idea. Bench Austin Riley, but
don't bench Austin Riley. I need that for my fantasy team.
Of course you do. But I mean, when Dansby was struggling, why did we not put? Dansby's not really struggling anymore. He's been raking lately. But I mean, when he was struggling, why couldn't we have started Sean Kazmar out there? I don't really get that. I know Snicker said he wasn't going to, rush anything with Sean Kazimar or something like that. But it still doesn't make any sense to me as to why Sean Kazimar is just not getting playing time. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think he should have been given an opportunity and really wasn't. I mean, he got 2 at bats, but I really didn't get an opportunity.
And it's hard to come off the bench. It is so hard to come off the bench cold.
Yeah, coming off the bench cold in late innings is probably one of the hardest things in baseball to do.
Unless you're Pablo Sandoval.
Unless you're Pablo Sandoval, that he's just different. He's just, he's World Series MVP Pablo Sandoval. There's just something different about him. So
yeah,
not too many Pablo Sandovals out there.
And the thing is, when he's pinch hitting, he is lethal. But when he's starting, he is not good. All the damage he's doing is when he's pinch hitting.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he's just got that clutch factor.
He's a different breed, as they say.
Yeah.
So also, May the 4th, you want to? Yep. You can say it. We reunited with somebody.
Yeah.
We're bringing a little bit
with our good friend. Tyler Flowers.
Jordan Rager's
we've
pissed off somewhere.
Yeah, I saw his comments on your page.
He's not too happy.
What you think about it, personally, I thought Tyler he wasn't the best. I think everybody knew that. But at this point, with Jackson down,
he's not worse than Alex Jackson.
Nobody can be worse than Alex Jackson. At least Tyler Flowers can be a good defender. He obviously, we know he can't hit very well. Yeah, he can frame.
He can frame, but he can't catch.
And he's a good leader in the clubhouse. So, he obviously he was coaching or something. He was like
I don't know.
He was doing something with the organization or something. He was I don't even know, but he's back. I think he's on the. I want to say he's probably with AAA. Would be my guess.
I heard he was at Truist Park. I heard he was at Truist Park.
Was he?
I don't know. I heard he was over the weekend. I guess just maybe helping out the pitcher, like the bullpen, and maybe like catching the bullpen, just trying to loosen up a bit. Get everything stretched out and ready. He's probably going to.
Yep.
I mean, we signed him to a minor league deal, so he's probably down at AAA now. We haven't. I mean, I guess we don't really need to option him since it's a minor league deal, but he'll probably be with him at some point. He wasn't on the roster, but he was helping out in Atlanta over the weekend. So it's kind of hard to describe Tyler Flowers because, he's a great framer, and it's kind of hard to really put that in perspective as to how valuable he is. But at the same time, he's a great framer, but he can't catch the ball, which doesn't make any sense. Like he has. Didn't he lead the Didn't he lead the majors in pass balls? And it wasn't even close, I believe. I think in 2019 and 2020.
Yeah, it was something crazy. I don't even remember what it was.
I think he led the league last year, and he wasn't even our starting catcher. I don't like. How do you do that? I mean, it just didn't make any sense to me. But I mean, somehow a great framer, but he's just terrible at catching the ball. It doesn't make any sense to me. But he's back, yep. Tyler Flowers. Who knows? Maybe he's going. I remember a couple of years ago, he was a pretty good hitter a couple of years ago. 2017, 2018, he was pretty good. He was
2017, 2018, he was really good. And I think age caught up to him or something. Who knows?
I mean, he is a little older. I think he's like, 35, 36 now, I think? Check on that for me.
He is 30. Oh, it doesn't. No, his profile doesn't say it. Huh. Unless, let me hang on. He's got
baseball
a birthday
reference.
here, so.
Baseball reference, come on.
35.
35. Okay, so I mean he's getting up to an age, but I guess so is Jeff Mathis. But Jeff Mathis is, I mean, hey, look, if y'all haven't seen the Foolish Baseball video on Jeff Mathis, Foolish Baseball is fantastic. Do you watch Foolish, Luke?
I have never watched Foolish Baseball.
Oh, you have got. I've been getting into his stuff lately. Phenomenal baseball YouTuber. He's awesome.
I'll check him out.
Much love to guys like Fuzzy. I actually talked with Fuzzy about all these.
Yeah, Fuzzy and I think Fuzzy's my favorite baseball YouTuber. I love that guy. Him, and you guys, some other guys.
Giraffe Neck Mark is also really good. I mean, he's a Mets fan, but he's tolerable. And I that's coming from a Braves fan. He's tolerable.
Yeah, that, and then guys, obviously you got John Boy Media,
John
which isn't
Boy.
obviously John Boy, and then I've been really getting into if you haven't seen, Kelsey Winger and Peter Moylan have a new podcast called
Farm to Fame.
Farm to Fame, going in depth with prospects and other stuff like that, and I've been listening to that a few times, so really good. I mean, obviously,
yep. Good on you, Kelsey.
Kelsey, yeah, I love. We all love Kelsey and Peter.
Yeah.
Peter, you gotta love the Aussies. Australians, gotta love them. Aussie. But
I thought you were talking about Aussie
love them.
So because he says like Aussie Olbies, I don't know. It's hard. I cannot do accents.
That's great stuff.
But they do great work. And then also Baseball Doesn't Exist. That's another one that I really love. So I actually interacted with, I was actually talking with Fuzzy. I know I'm not like good friends with him or anything, but we were DMing each other about these sabermetric pages and the, baseball MLB nerds, and talk about how just I don't know. They're just like such know-it-alls, Let me just find it real quick. What did he even say? I forgot.
Can I break some news here for a second?
Oh, did we have some breaking news?
Not for the Braves, but Jared Kelenic, the number 3 prospect in baseball, just got called up by the Mariners and will make his debut on Thursday of this week. So that'll be what's today? Monday. So Thursday of this week, the number 3 prospect in baseball. Supposedly this kid is supposed to be one of the best hitters in. I think they said they called him the best hitter in the minor leagues since Mike Trout is what I saw. So that's pretty high praise for a guy of that caliber. So that outfield, obviously you got Kyle Lewis out there already, and Julio Rodriguez is waiting in the wings as well. So 2/3 of that outfield is going to be set for the Mariners, as they've it hasn't been. They obviously got off to a hot start, cooled down a little bit, but that Mariners team's on the rise, and in a very, obviously the Athletics went on that 12-game winning streak, but honestly, I think a really wide open AL West at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody within 4.5 games of each other, so it could swing a lot in with 5 months to go in the season. So don't keep an eye on the Mariners, So
yeah, keep an eye on the Mariners.
That is breaking news coming out of I believe that was Jeff Passan, or maybe that was Ken Rosenthal. I don't even know. One of those two guys, one of those two main. Oh yeah, it's Jeff Passan. So
yeah, I'm a big Jared Kelenic fan. I think the Mets gave him away for Cano and Edwin Diaz, which is going to be so funny if Kelenic just completely takes off and becomes one of the best hitters in baseball, which he has that potential.
Like we say, Mets gonna Met. That's been the saying. That will always be the saying.
Look, Diaz has been good, but Cano, he was suspended for an entire year because of the PED thing. So don't
get me wrong. Diaz obviously had a little bit of a down year in 2019 when he first came over, but last year was good, and so far this year I think he's been very good for the Mets. Let me check. Yeah, he's 3.14 ERA in 14 1/3 innings, 18 strikeouts. So he's been good. Obviously, given the number 3 prospect in baseball, you're gonna need to put a little bit of pressure on now. So we'll see.
So, anyways, I was talking.
And then Jeff. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
But yes, I was kind of talking a little bit with Fuzzy. Great YouTuber. But he posted this thing on Twitter that all the sabermetric guys were talking about on Instagram or whatever, and so this guy like screenshots a Fuzzy tweet about Jarrett Cole and Jacob deGrom winning pitcher of the month for AL and NL respectively. And unpopular opinion, Fuzzy tweets out, unpopular opinion, Danny Duffy and Carlos Rodon both deserved AL pitcher of the month over Garrett Cole. So this this nerd page post this. I mean, his thing is dumb MLB take, so he's throwing Fuzzy under the bus by saying his take was dumb, and he posts this thing. I don't know. I'll just put it up so like Luke can see it, and it's comparing. Yeah. It's comparing Danny Duffy to Garrett Cole, and they're bringing up stuff like EV. What the heck is EV? These stats.
Some of these sabermetrics. I mean, holy cow!
TERA,
I mean, at one
PCRA, ERA minus, FIP minus, XFIP minus, PCRA minus. Like, so Fuzzy tweets out like he screenshots this and like. This is what he says. This is why everyone hates Instagram. I said unpopular opinion, and these accounts recite the alphabet with stats that 90% of the baseball community didn't even know existed. 100% facts.
Yeah, like listen, sabermetrics, I think there is a good balance. Like there are some good stats, but some of them that's like, what are we even doing? Like what are even nobody even like realistically even a good like diehard baseball fan doesn't even know what any of that means. Nobody knows unless you study that. Nobody knows what that means. And look, the only stats I even care about, there are about 3 stats that I care about: ERA plus, ERA, and WHIP. That's and then strikeouts, obviously. Strikeouts
and FIP, again. You can make an
those
argument
about the 4 stats you look at as and FIP, yes, FIP as well. Those are about the 5 stats I look at as a pitcher. If you're a pitcher, any other sabermetrics is stupid. FIP, I
like
plus.
I like hits per 9, walks per 9, home runs per 9, all that stuff, and strikeout percentage and stuff like that. But at the same time, like at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't matter. It's whether your team wins or not. And I think like if you went up to Alex Anthopoulos, right now, and we're just like, you ask him about TERA or PCRA or some stuff, he would be like, he just like stare at you. He would just give you a blank stare. Like he'd be like, what?
He'd be like, what are you talking about? What did you just say to me?
Like literally, I don't like general managers wouldn't even care about this stuff. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So
it's crazy. I mean, people have gone above and beyond to make sabermetrics too crazy. In my opinion, I think like I said, there's a good balance. Sabermetrics are good to some extent, but at some point, it's like dude, this stat literally is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I still look at batting average and I think it still matters a little. Like it does matter. I know on base percentages tells a little more of the
people
story.
People that say batting average doesn't matter are stupid. That's just a dumb take. That's a horrible take if you say.
If batting average has worked for 150 years, what just completely makes it just completely
listen? Don't get me
pointless.
wrong. OPS is a great stat. I love the OPS stat. It is a great stat.
I love OPS.
But people that say that OPS matters more than batting, I think they should be. They're equal in my opinion. I think OPS and you guys like Joey Gallo. I think I said this on the podcast before. Those are the guys that benefit. The guys that have high slugging but can't get a base hit to save their life. Those are the guys that thrive off of OPS.
Yeah.
I think I saw like Gallo has like an 820 something OPS, which is really good, but has like a 220 batting average. It's ridiculous. It's like, what are we doing? I don't know.
So I say to Fuzzy, man, you get so much crap for no reason. I hate all these smart baseball guys. Baseball doesn't need all these stats. It's the win column that really counts more than anything. Ignore these guys. They're all so rude. Keep up the great YouTube content. And he was just like, I can't say that word. They're a-holes. What do you expect? Or are you surprised? I appreciate the love, brother. So, I mean, hey, look, Fuzzy.
Shout out to Fuzzy, one of the great guys in the baseball community. Love
except, him. The pronunciation can still be sometimes. But, overall, Fuzzy's a darn good YouTuber. So, but I think if I were to rank like 5 MLB YouTubers that you should check out, if you want to get into YouTube, baseball doesn't exist. Fuzzy, Draftneck Mark, Foolish Baseball, and did I say baseball doesn't exist? Or John Boy Media? Yes. I don't know. Those guys.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Oh yeah, and the Talking Braves pod. We're on it. We're on there too.
Yes, that's the number one you should check out. If you, I mean, obviously you're checking it out right now if you're listening to us talking. So shout out.
So, anyways, that's that. But Fuzzy's fantastic, and then of course you gotta love John Boy as well. So, oh yeah, I forgot we were talking about transactions. Where were we? We were talking about Tyler Flowers.
We were at the Tyler Flowers transaction.
So let's just go to Cinco de Mayo. This was my last. No, it wasn't. Never mind. Just kidding. You know what I was just saying. But we activated Max Fried from the 10-day IL, which that was big. He came back and
he looked great.
Had his best start of the year so far.
His curveball, like the first 3 starts, everything looked horrible. His curveball looked sharp. That looked like 2020 Max Fried, and hopefully we'll see more of that. He's set to start. He got pushed back. He's set to start Wednesday, and they still haven't announced anybody for tomorrow. So
I know that makes me a little nervous because I got tickets to the game, so like
it's supposed to be Bryce Wilson or Kyle Wright. So have fun.
Please be Bryce Wilson, please.
You don't want to watch a walk fest?
No, not really. I mean, who's starting for Toronto? Do we know?
Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray. I forgot. Is he good?
I believe. I think. Robbie Ray.
He's been a little. How has he done this year? I don't even know how he did.
I think I saw a stat where he's been pretty solid.
Dang it,
3.14 ERA. So he's been good.
I want to see.
I think did he face us? I think he faced us on that Sunday or Saturday. And
I don't know. I felt like crap, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
True.
But anyways, then we optioned Sean Newcomb to the Gwinnett Stripers, and then no more alternate training site. Woohoo! That's the last person we optioned to the alternate training site was Sean Kazmar. That's sad. But we optioned Sean Newcomb down. I know he was doing great, and I know that might be like, what are we doing to like a lot of Braves fans out there? But he has options a lot of these other guys don't. That it makes sense. I mean, it's what had to be done. And then the same day, we also sent Chris Martin, who should be back at some point this week, most likely. He's down with Gwinnett on a rehab assignment, so it'll be good to have Chris Martin back.
Our bullpens, and like I said, our bullpen is getting back to form. We're gonna get Martin back, and then obviously signing we're gonna talk about that. I'm excited to talk about here in a minute or two. As we go over through the transactions, and then I think the bullpen's getting back to form. Minters, he's been solid. Will Smith is finally found that consistency. I think you would hope. I mean, we paid him $48 million over 3 years, so you would hope he's finally found his 2019 form. And then who else? Matzik, if you didn't see the play yesterday, he won play of the week. This week as well, and a great double play, our boy. So I think we're finally starting to turn things around in the bullpen that looked atrocious the first month of the season. That's putting it nicely. That's putting it nicely.
Yeah.
It was bad. But I think we're finally getting back to 2020's bullpen. So good to see.
Yeah. I mean, and so when I said the last person we optioned to the alternate training site was Sean Kazmar, but no, that was recalled. That was on May 4th. So May 6th, only one transaction. We sent Ender Inciarte on a rehab assignment to Gwinnett. He's been raking down there, so hopefully he'll be back at some point in the near future because we need help in center field desperately. I know Pache's been good defensively. Yeah. He made that error in Washington that was pretty cost a shutout, shutout bid, but I don't. We need to talk about in a bit.
And I think if you're a Braves fan that's been watching for 5-6 years now, I think we all want to see Ender Inciarte succeed. I think we've said that probably 5-6 times on this podcast already. But Ender's just a likable guy. He gets too much hate for no reason.
Yes,
stupid.
We have actually not said this. Like we got a review. A while ago. I mean, we talked about this on one of our live streams, but we have not addressed it during an actual podcast episode yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I know, because we could just completely forgot about it, and then like I was going to do it at some point, but like I just had completely forgotten. So We'll just talk about this review because they clearly are not Ender Inciarte fans, or they're not fans of us either. But let me just get the gist of this review. Why is it not loading? Come on. There we go. All right. I'm pulling it up real quick and talking Braves. So who knows? Maybe we got another review as well. Okay. So here it is. This is our second not so nice review. This one is from Lonnie8519. 1 star, 1 out of 5 stars. Ender ? Exclamation point, ? Exclamation point as the title of this review. And he says, did you two really just suggest starting Ender? He could not even get a bunt down last night in the 8th. Ender is terrible, and his defense is not in the same galaxy as Pache. Lost a lot of credibility with that take. Lonnie, listen up, Lonnie. Right after you said this, Lonnie. After you said this, he had like 3 multi-hit games.
Lonnie, listen to me. We're praying for you, Lonnie. We're praying for you.
Like, I'm sorry, but like,
horrible take here by Lonnie, by the way.
You clearly didn't watch a game from anywhere between 2016 and 2018. Once he lost the starting job to Ronald Acuna in center field, which, I mean, obviously Ronald Acuna deserved to start in center field because, I mean, he's Ronald Acuna. I mean, once Ender didn't get those consistent at-bats, he started to struggle a bit. And you know what happens when you lose that starting job and you're not getting that consistent playing time and you're coming off the bench cold and you're asked to get base hits, lay down a bunt. It's not easy to come off the bench and lay down a bunt. I mean, it's not.
Yep. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I've had my frustrations, obviously, with Ender Inciarte.
Yes.
But, he also, I mean, obviously he knows it's not like he's just like, he's the guy that's going to give you 110%. He is the leader, one of the leaders in that clubhouse. Whether you see that or not, or want to believe that, he is one of the leaders in that clubhouse and one of the best guys. I mean, I haven't had the chance to meet him. Hopefully, I do maybe soon. But a really likable guy from what I've heard. So don't go around bashing a guy for, that this is the guy that led the NL in hits in 2017. It was an all-star.
And it was an all-star. Yeah.
And you can't that he hasn't gotten a consistent playing time since then. And that's not necessarily, that's not his fault. The only problem is he had the NL Rookie of the Year and possible NL MVP of 2021 taking over his starting job. There's nothing he can do about that.
Yeah, I mean, and then as soon as we had this review, he took off. He had like a bunch of multi-hit games. He was playing great defense. I mean, this take right here, his defense is not even in the same galaxy as Pache. That's completely bogus.
That was the dumbest take I've had. Pache's defense is good, but I think Ender's like, what's the word I'm looking for? His mental aspect of the game, with his dekes and other stuff, makes him
those deeks
up here. Don't get me wrong, the arm of Pache and the speed and defense of Pache, they're great, but I think the mental aspect of Ender Inciarte, and he knows when to throw it and where to throw it at that specific time and what to do. And that is what I think that's what made Ender great from when we got him in 2016 till 2019. So
yeah, and you cannot tell me right now, Lonnie, like just hear me out. This is the last thing that we'll say. But if right now you could tell us that you would rather have Christian Pache start over Ender Inciarte right now, what is Christian Pache hitting right now? Is he like 120?
I don't know if it's actually 120, but it's not good. I can tell you.
He made an error a couple nights ago, and
he's hitting 107.
107, even worse than we anticipated. OPS of 349.
49 OPS.
And you're saying that we lost a lot of credibility.
Even if it, I honestly don't even think it can't even get worse. I legitimately don't think it can get worse.
Exactly.
I mean, no disrespect. I think Pache is going to be a great player, but he needs more time to develop, and that's just a straight fact. He needs more minor league at bats.
Okay, so Lonnie, we hear you. We get. I mean, like you don't have to like put this. Like we don't need a 1-star review. You can literally email us. It's in the description. But like you're like right here, like we lost a lot of credibility when we were saying start Ender over Pache. When Pache's hitting 107 and Ender was on fire.
Yeah, I feel like hopefully, Lonnie, hopefully
this last month has changed your perspective.
Yeah, I really hope you change your mind once. Hopefully, I think Ender will get called up.
I mean, at least give us 3 stars.
Will get a chance. I mean, regardless, Pache right now is not the answer. And I think I listened to Chip Carey talking about I think it was Chip Carey. He said the Braves, nobody's really been getting going outside of Ronald Acuna, and that has made the light on Pache with his bat a lot more noticeable than I think it would have been if he hadn't. I think that's and it's true. Like his bat is a lot more noticeable because nobody in that bottom of that order, or really in that entire order, up until like a week ago, nobody was producing, and that's what made it so frustrating. Even though he's played good defense, and but sorry. Anyways.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, Lonnie, but like that's kind of bad. I mean, I like listen. We don't say like our reviews are bad. Like I mean, like this review, like we had another 1-star review, and we were talking about like not a great podcast and not very thought out, a lot of constantly. That was another one that we had back in February. That was when we were brand new, and we took that one well because like we agreed.
That's constructive criticism. I think we've been better than that. I hope.
Hopefully,
I think we've been better. I think obviously, it's going to happen at times, but hopefully as we've grown more consistent, as this is episode 26 now, I think as we've gone on, I think it's gotten a lot better, and hopefully you guys notice that. And I think we notice it ourselves, obviously being the hosts of this podcast. We notice it. We take time and listen. I take time and listen over my podcast, critique myself, what I can do better, all that stuff. And I constructive criticism, those reviews, we appreciate those, of you taking out your time and, leaving a review.
It is helpful. I mean, especially if it's positive and like, especially if you think like, or have mostly a positive, like review to leave for us, but you also want to leave us like some suggestions on how to get better. And we're completely open to that. I mean, but just like giving us a 1-star review for, giving you a take that was actually correct is just kind of, like, what are we doing here? But, and I mean, it looks bad because I mean, it brought us down to like from like 4.5 to 4 stars. I mean, 4 stars isn't bad, but at the same time, the fact that, this guy's opinion that was proven to be wrong, makes us look a little worse, for people who want to, are looking for a Braves podcast. It's just, it's a little, I have a little bit of an issue with that, but if you're giving us a 1-star review and you're giving us a lot of constructive criticism, hey, I'm all here for it. I don't care if we hear a 2-star
we appreciate it, and we want to get better, and that's that.
But
but anyways,
start Ender. I'm still behind.
Start Ender. So moving on to Friday now,
and stop the Ender and Ciarte.
Stop the Ender hate. That's we need to make that a hashtag on like Twitter or something. Get that trending somewhere. Yes, I don't even. Please. But moving on to Friday, the 7th. We optioned Edgar Santana. We DFA'd Nate Jones, and then released him today. Yes. And then selected Carl Edwards Jr. Yeah, sorry. But then selected Carl Edwards Jr. contract, and he looked horrible. He looked horrible on Friday. Granted, it was a 12-2 game, but he didn't look particularly great on Friday. And then was DFA'd back to Gwinnett the following day. And then obviously, as we see here, Sean Kazmar, as we talked about, was optioned back to Gwinnett, sadly.
Yeah.
Then we
Completely ridiculous.
recalled Victor. Yeah, it was we're salty about it. If you can't tell, from the last like 3 episodes,
we are
4
big Sean
episodes.
Kazmar fans. Like I was just waiting. Like I was just hoping that he would get in that bat at home because I feel like he would get a huge ovation if he was. If his name was announced in front of a sold out crowd at Truist Park. I mean, we just needed to give him one at bat. I mean, was that too much to ask? I mean, like, come on.
But then we recalled Victor Arano and Jaceel de la Cruz to
Chip,
the.
And the way that Chip Carey says Arano, he says Aranyo. I mean, it's not.
He says Aranyo.
Aranyo, yeah.
There's no Y in it, Chip. Come on now.
It doesn't have like that. What is it called? I mean,
but they were both. Sorry, what?
It doesn't have the squiggle above the N. I think what is it called? Like a, I don't know. I don't know how you say it. It's TILDE tilde. I don't know how you say it, but I've never actually heard that pronounced like out. But
then both Jaceel and Arano were both optioned today back to Gwinnett. And
they were optioned back.
And then obviously,
and then we will.
Carl Edwards was sent outright to AAA.
No, he was not.
And then
we thought he was sent outright to Gwinnett, but he was just like, no, I'm not going to Gwinnett. So we released him. So he's released now. He's a free agent. So bye, Carl Edwards Jr.
Oh, he is again.
Yeah. He doesn't like going to the minor leagues. He doesn't like going to the minor leagues.
He's like, he does not like going to the minor leagues. What the heck? So I guess he's gone now. But you know the guy we do have, as we will talk about now.
Okay. Yeah. You can break the news.
Shane Greene is back.
Y'all asked for him.
$1.5 million on a 1-year deal to be back in Atlanta. I still don't know how this guy didn't get, much less the Braves. How did this guy not get signed anywhere? That baffles me the most, that he didn't get signed by anybody. But I'm glad he's back on our team.
Yeah, I don't care.
Definitely,
I don't care how
it was a huge need. The only right-handed reliever in the bullpen right now that I trust is Luke Jackson,
and I don't even know if I trust him. I don't even like. I mean,
listen, he's been good, but you never know when Luke Jackson's gonna have a bout at it. It could literally be at any time, any point. But Shane Greene is back.
The connection was like a little bad there, but if you need a translation, it was just like we never know when Luke Jackson's gonna have a bad outing. which it could literally be any time he steps out of the bullpen. You have no idea.
Yeah, you don't know when it is.
Even when he's like giving the entire bullpen a tour of Washington D.C., you don't know what's going to happen. You know, if you saw that,
we're obviously very left-handed heavy with Matzik, Minter, Will Smith, Grant Dayton, all those guys. Good left-handed options, but it's going to be good. Obviously, with Chris Martin coming back and Shane Greene hopefully getting called up, we're going to have solidified right side in that bullpen again. And then, I mean, you already have Tomlin down there who, he's always usually reliable to get you, he's usually our long reliever, but he's always reliable regardless of the situation. So I think this definitely, my guess would be Biddle and Jacob Webb hopefully will be sent down when Martin and Shane Greene are ready. And this bullpen's finally starting to get back to form again, and it's good to see. We're finally hitting I think we're hitting our stride. I think that Saturday game really put some juice into the guys. Hopefully, I commented something on after that game. Somebody commented, hopefully this is the turning point, right? And I said, I've been saying that for the last month, man. I really hope it is. I really hope it is. It's May 10th now, a month and a half into the season. So I think I really do want to believe this is a turning point. I've been saying that for the past, ever since that we lost 4 straight games.
Which we have done that. We have done that a couple times.
Yeah, the first time, I should say. But hopefully this is truly the turning point of this team as we're a game and a half out behind the Mets. We have won 5 of the last 6 games, and we have a series. Hopefully we can get a revenge as the Blue Jays swept us. Hopefully we can at least take the series, if not even do better and sweep this week. So I'm excited to get that series underway as you are going tomorrow. So enjoy that. I'm hoping to get to a game here, hopefully next week or in the next few weeks. So I'm excited.
So, anyways, I do want to bring this up because I this kind of did catch my eye, but this is going to be the last time we'll ever bring up this guy's name on the podcast, hopefully. But Nate Jones, he had an ERA of 3.48, which I mean to a lot of baseball people that might seem okay, but if you also look at deeper in the stats, he walked 10 guys in 10 and a third innings. It's just not he just didn't get the job done for us. I mean, he was good at limiting the damage, but we were too much damage.
Yeah, we were both Nate Jones believers. He was great with the White Sox. He was, not
spring
great
training, man. Like I remember you were on the
great
Nate Jones
spring
hype
training.
train.
I mean, I was on the Nate Jones hype train, and
I kind of was too.
For those that for those who weren't on the Nate Jones hype train, and thought I was crazy, you guys were right. I mean, I where credits where I know when I'm wrong, and this was the one I missed on, and so you know,
but we were spot on when it came to Erie Adrianza, though. We were on the Erie Adrianza
that man
hype
has
train.
been,
and then we were also on the Sean Kazmar hype train because he was tearing it up just as well as Erie was, and then. You know what happened to Sean Kazmar, and we're still pissed.
And listen, I wasn't even on the Panda hype train, to be honest. I didn't even think he was going to make the roster out of the spring training. But I think everybody's on the Panda hype train now. Are we all on the Panda hype train? I think every Braves fan. I saw Jordan Rager. Shout out Jordan. He commented on that post. He said we need Panda jerseys immediately. 100% agree. Get Pablo Sandoval jerseys. Working. Get them on the racks at Truist Park. I almost said Turner Field, but get them on the racks at Truist Park. I think I would cop a jersey immediately, regardless. I mean, he's gonna be. I don't know. He's Hall of Fame. Maybe I don't know.
Pablo Sandoval?
No. Has he won an MVP?
No.
Has he won an MVP? No, I don't think. But
no, he has not. No, you're getting way ahead of yourself, man. He has to hit 50 bombs
Braves,
over the next
Braves Hall of Fame.
Hey, you never know. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I think in order to be even considered for the Hall of Fame, like the National Baseball Hall of Fame, he has to hit 50 home runs each in the next 7 years. But
I don't know.
I think he's a little far off there.
Yeah, but Braves
Giants Hall of Fame though. He's gonna be in the Giants
Hall of Fame. Yeah.
I mean, 3 World Series championships. I mean, come on now.
3 World Series and
World Series MVP.
World's MVP in was that 2012 or 2010? I don't even remember.
I don't know. He hit 3 home runs in the game in the World Series. Crazy.
I know. Bumgarner won in 2014. I think Posey was in 2012. So I think Panda was 2010. So
who'd they even play in 2012?
The
Tigers. That was 2014.
Yeah. Was it? No, 2014 was the Royals.
Oh, it was the Royals.
Yeah, it was the Tigers in 12.
And then it was Rangers in 2010. Okay. Sorry, a little baseball trivia for you. Anyway, remember when we first started this podcast?
I still it's hard for me to believe that the Rangers made it to back-to-back World Series in 2010 and 2011. Sadly, 2011 was probably one of the it was Ron 2011 Washington. Was probably one of the best that I can remember outside of probably 2017's World Series, which obviously we all know what happened there, but 2011 to date was probably the best World Series I've ever watched that I can remember.
Yeah.
I would say a close third place would be the Royals, Giants
2015 or 2014.
2014. But
game. Would that go to Game 7?
Yeah, that went to
Okay,
game
and
7.
then they had
Bumgarner
the
came out of the pen.
oh yeah, they had the tying run at third
Game
with
7.
2 outs in the ninth
Yeah.
inning.
That was a crazy. Those were probably
And
my
then-
3 favorite World
And then
Series to
Pablo
watch.
Sandoval just catches the ball and just completely just
That's mad.
falls
I mean,
down.
I'm sure Giants fans remember that too memorable or too vividly, but I remember that vividly. I remember watching that vividly. Like, I
yeah.
remember watching Pablo just fall on the ground and celebrate. I mean, hopefully the Braves can do that. That would need. I'm waiting for the day. I think we're all waiting for the day.
Oh, imagine.
Hey, maybe we'll get Pablo's
I
4th ring.
Who knows? Could be the year. Anyways,
Could be. Anyways,
we did we talk enough about Saturday's game?
I don't
Or do you
think
wanna talk
anybody
about-
can talk enough about Saturday's game.
Like honestly, it just kind of left me speechless. Not gonna lie.
Not
It
even
was
gonna
like-
lie. I think I watched the replay of Adrianza's game-winning hit and Pablo Sandoval's game-tying home run. Like, I would say in the last 2 days, probably like 100 times each.
Pablo Sandoval's home run. Oh my gosh, it was just like, my brother was downstairs, and I mean, it's nice to. First of all, it's nice to be home. I mean, my dog is under my feet and everything, so finally home for the summer, and it feels great. But like I was watching it with my brother, and my brother came downstairs. I mean, he wasn't watching it like entirely, and then Pablo Sandoval comes up. And, he's the best guy we got on the bench in that situation, obviously. And, gets 2 strikes and you're just like, meh. Well, maybe tomorrow.
No, we
And then
were
Pablo
down to
Sandoval-
2 strikes. We were down to 2 strikes with Adrianza and Pablo Sandoval. It's crazy to think, like, I honestly, I had just gotten to the beach. We were unpacking. I mean, I was watching on my phone. I was like, there was 2 outs in the 9th. I was like, whatever, we're probably going to lose. And then Adrianza walked, and then I saw a run when I was watching on the cast or live, whatever you call it, and it said run. I was like, no way, he just hit another pinch hit home. I was like, dude, there's no way that's actually real.
Like-
and then it said home run. I was like, just stop. Like, that's
I mean,
that's
the legend
unbelievable.
continues. The legend continues.
I mean,
and
we're
I think the most pinch hit home runs in Braves history, is it 4 or 5? I think
it's 5 by
5, I think. Who cares?
they showed it the other day or on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I saw that, but
I
don't
saw
know.
Johan Camargo was up there. He had 4, and then somebody else in 2013 had 4, and then
Well,
I think
say-
one
I mean-
person had 5 in like 1990 that I can't remember. But
I don't know, but I mean, it's only May 10th when we're recording this, so like, there's still so much time for that record to be broken. I mean, it's insane. And the most pinch hit home runs through May for any major league player is 5, and Pablo has 3 weeks to try and break that, or tie it,
Yeah.
or break it. I don't know. We'll see what
Or
happens
break it
there.
both.
I mean,
I would hope both, right?
hopefully. But yeah, Pablo Sandoval. I mean, it's insane. There, I don't know. It's just the perfect guy, the perfect time, and Pablo Sandoval. Before that pitch, he was kind of looking off balance with all the off-speed stuff, and it was Hector Neris, I believe, on the mound.
I
and
can't believe they threw him a fastball. I really
fastball
can't
right
believe-
down the middle.
And
Pablo
I
just
don't know what JT Realmuto was thinking, but I appreciate it, JT.
Thank you, JT Realmuto. You're a great fantasy player. Also, speaking of fantasy, you beat me last week, and thank you, Herman Marquez, or whatever your name is.
Yeah, that probably would have made it like that would have made it close. I won. Oh, here it is. They gave me the thing. I won by 50, and you had negative 15 from him. If you had gotten like 10
he was
points,
negative.
maybe
He was
5
negative
points.
20, I think. I mean, but
Was
I
he?
mean, I think so.
Sheesh.
I think it was had negative 20, and hang on. I'm 5-0 in my other
team
league.
my team is like I literally have one like everybody today is on either just has an off day or that I had that Padres Rockies game, but it got postponed. So I literally have Kyle Gibson pitching today. That's it.
But
Gibson's Gibson and Enoa have been my fantasy steals so far this year.
Anyways, Brad Hand lost me
And JT
3.5
Brubaker.
points last week. Charlie Morton didn't make it out of the first inning. Mike Trout was actually he kind of made up for it. He had a good day a couple days ago, but he was struggling for the most part. Eovaldi only got me 3 points. Jesus Aguilar lost me 2 points. Just a lot of guys had down weeks, and
Yep.
Christian Javier only 5 points. I mean, it was just bad all around for me. So I mean, if I had like a couple good starts these guys, my pitchers were terrible. Zach Greinke only got me 12 points for the entire week. I mean, he had 2 starts, 8 innings total, 7 earned runs. I mean, just like, come on now. Lance Lynn came back,
I
did
picked
well.
up Waskar. I'm not even gonna lie. I picked up Waskar Enoa like
As a
last like Sunday.
joke.
No,
I
I was like, might as well. He's pitching well, and then it's turned out to be the steal so far of the year.
I mean, I've scored more points. I've scored the 4th most points in this league, but I'm 1-4. So that just tells you how, my luck.
I don't even. Where even are the standings of this? Oh, they're right here.
They're right there.
4-1. Your brother is winning it with 5-0. Oh boy.
I mean, yeah, of course he is.
At least it could be worth. You could be.
Shout out to the Sultans of
Could be
Swing.
Matthew Haydock, who's 0-5. Shout out to Matthew Haydock, whoever that is.
I actually don't know who that is.
Brother's friend.
I'm so. My brother has a bunch of friends. I don't know who they are, but good for you. Good. But anyways, I think we're just about done with talking about everything. But we'll talk about also like some news from around Major League Baseball from the last. I don't even know. Like, what's even the most important? It's been so long. I don't even know. What should we even talk about? I don't know. Because there've been a lot.
Well, one thing we have to talk about: 2 no-hitters thrown this week.
Yes, two no-hitters.
John Means and Wade Miley. How about that? I mean, I don't know what happened. I know what happened. There was a drop third strike or something that lost John Means a perfect game. I mean, if you look in the columns, it says 9 innings, 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, and 12 Ks. So you would think, oh, perfect game, but a drop third strike of all things lost.
That's the worst.
So
that would be the worst. But I mean,
but
how many
no
hitters?
hitters? So shout out to
4, and then 5 if you want to count.
This is 4. Yeah, if you want to count
5 if you want to count Bumgarner. But
I still do.
I mean,
but
is this the second year of the pitcher? Because I remember 2010 was considered the year of the pitcher. There were 6 no-hitters that year. Ubaldo Jimenez, Dallas Braden, that was a perfect game. Roy Halladay, I think that was also a perfect game. Edwin Jackson.
Wasn't that same year that he threw one in the playoffs? Or was that not?
And then Matt Garza and then
2008?
Halladay again. It was Halladay again. I was
going to say, is that same? Yeah, and we're at 4, and we're a month and a half into the season.
And you could also make an argument. It should have been 7 because that was also the year that Armando Galarraga had the imperfect game with Jim Joyce called first base. So I mean, it was.
Ugh, that still sickens me. I mean, I can't imagine being a Tigers fan and you have to live like. Ugh, that's so disappointing. But anyways.
So and then also MLB pitchers. This was all Major League Baseball. 329 shutouts for the entire season.
29?
The most since 1972.
How?
And
I don't think we're at that many this year, are we?
And then also, Galarraga's would have been the 3rd perfect game in this season. Which I mean, it would have been an MLB record, but it would have been broken in 2012. Philip Humber did it, which is the most like one-hit wonder ever. Matt Cain and Felix Hernandez did it in 2012. I mean, it's crazy. When's the last time when was the last perfect game, actually?
The last perfect game was 2012. Felix Hernandez. Yeah, I looked it up. It was
wow.
That was I know it's crazy, right? Like it doesn't seem like it's been that long. but
I know because I've thrown like
9
20 on
years.
because I've thrown like 20 on MLB The Show, but
Facts.
but anyways, it was like there are yeah, I mean it might be the year of the pitcher again. I mean it's only May the 10th, and we've had 4 no-hitters and pretty much 5 if you want to count Bumgarner, which it should count. Is it the baseball? I don't know. It's you know, I if you're Rob Manfred right now, what would you do? I mean, obviously, if you're Rob Manfred, you would make the wrong decision, but because that's Rob Manfred for you. But I think that if it's the baseball, if there's something with the baseball, that's I don't know. I really don't know what's going on right now. It's
Counting them up as we speak. We're halfway through the month, and there's already been 27 shutouts. I'm at April 14th.
Jeez.
So we're probably on pace to throw about I would say close to like 350 shutouts. Somewhere around there. So it might be the year of the pitcher again. Who even knows? I don't even know anymore.
So a lot of other. Oh yeah, we also had a scare with Ronald Acuna Jr. getting hit by a pitch, but he was fine.
I honestly didn't even think. I didn't even think. I was so like. I don't even know what the word is. I didn't think he was gonna play Sunday, so I benched him in fantasy. That's how I was like, there's no way he's playing tomorrow after a day game or a night game after a day game after a night game. I was like, there's just no way. After seeing him, what happened, I was like, there's just no way. But thank heavens he's okay, because that could have been our season down the toilet in a minute right there.
Yeah, it really could have been. And I mean, there are a lot of other injuries to go over, but we've missed so much already. It's just like, meh. Like, should we even talk about all of them? We're not going to talk about all of them, but some of the big ones. Jordan Hicks of the Cardinals, he's out at least 6 weeks. I don't know what's going on there, but that's
one of the biggest ones. Byron Buxton.
Yes,
who probably was leading the AL MVP a month into the season. He won AL Player of the Month, and he's tearing the cover off the ball. He's finally, I think, he was the number 1 prospect in baseball for a while, but he's finally found it. And I don't know, what did he do? I don't even remember. He's out. I can say he's out for a while. I know that for a fact. He's out for at least a few weeks.
I'm not sure exactly.
Byron Buxton, 10-day DL, right hip strain. So
IL.
He'll be out for a few weeks. IL, DL, whatever.
IL.
But he was hitting 370 with 9 bombs and almost a 1200 OPS. So Byron Buxton, he's basically right now, he was the Ronald Acuna of the AL.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Acuna also, we didn't even mention this because I completely forgot, but he was named NL Player of the Month for April.
Yes,
so
he was.
And then he reposted my post on his story. So let's go. Really? I'm famous.
Shout out.
Also, we forgot to talk about another transaction that we made today. It's not on the transaction log yet, but we signed Tanner Roark to a minor league deal. I like this. I think it's
there's no harm in it. That's the thing. I think people are probably gonna look at it like, what the heck, Tanner Roark? But there's no harm. They literally, like, he might get a chance. At the worst case, it's depth. It's another depth guy that he was proven. He was solid with the
Nationals for a number of years.
Yeah, he was good with the Nationals for a number of years. So he has it in him. I think he's battled a few injuries. I think he was with the Blue Jays last year. I want to say he battled some injuries. So, in worst case, it's depth. We have guys like Bryce Wilson, Kyle Wright, now Tanner Roark. So you can never have enough pitching depth, as you see with guys like like teams like the Dodgers, Dustin May goes down. Luckily, the Dodgers have 3 Cy Youngs essentially in their rotation with Bauer, Kershaw, and Bueller, so they're not too hurt. And then you got Julio Urias, and then who even knows who their 5th starter is? It's probably some stud that they're gonna call up, and he's gonna be insane or something. Who even knows? But never have enough depth.
Also, some of the other big news, I was kind of like looking down, but and like a lot of the big sports news, but a lot of this stuff is like NFL draft stuff. So not gonna, this baseball podcast, we're not going to talk about it. But Dustin May is going to be undergoing Tommy John surgery, and he's going to be out until a pretty good portion into 2022. So Dustin May was an awesome player to watch. I mean, movement on the 2-seam fastball is insane. Possibly the best 2-seam fastball in the game.
He was really
shame.
good.
It's a shame. I mean, it's not going to hurt the Dodgers much, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but I mean, they have to rely on their other top 5 in the rotation. Basically
it usually helps when your number 4 starter is Julio Urias, so I don't think they're too.
And you got David Price as a number 5 if you want.
Yeah, you can really just you can just plug in David Price as your number 5, and realistically, what did David Price win? He had like a sub 3 ERA like in that 2018 World Series team, so he's like 2 years removed from like
being
winning the World Series and dominant. Like, you got to be kidding me. He was coming out of the pen for this team. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what even is that?
Anyways. So that's a big loss for the Dodgers, but I think they'll be okay. I mean, they're the Dodgers. Their depth is unbelievable. I mean, just to think that the Braves could potentially be like the Dodgers, but we have Liberty Media, DFA Liberty Media. Almost forgot that one.
Had to get it out of the way.
But Luis Robert, another notable injury. He's out. Bless you. 3 to 4 months. I believe it was a hip injury. He was originally
everybody with these hip injuries.
It was originally
Robert, DeGrom. Everybody's dropping like flies.
So that's a big loss for them. Luis Robert, whatever you want to call it. I know it's Robert, but honestly, who the heck cares?
Who calls him Robert? It's everybody. I think everybody I've seen calls him Luis Robert. So.
I mean, he says it's Robert, but like, who cares? Like, no one says
I'm not sticking to that. Absolutely not. No thanks.
So I mean, Luis Robert, whatever you want to say, he's out 3 to 4 months. Whatever you want to call him, it's not going to change the fact that he's out 3 to 4 months. So that's a big loss. Yeah. I'm a big Luis Robert fan. So big loss for them.
And then another injury. Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers. He came back for 1 game. I think he went 2 for 4. The games to the Padres or something, and then immediately went back to the IL.
Yeah, thank you for that saying.
And that was, I almost did. That was the 4th. So lower back strain for him again. It's always been his back. That's been the main thing for Christian Yelich since his MVP year. It's just he hasn't been able to stay off the IL. So hopefully that's a good Brewers team. If you haven't watched that pitching staff, it's filthy with obviously Corbin Burns as well on the IL. But Corbin Burns, Adrian Hauser, Freddie Peralta, Brett Anderson, and Brandon Woodruff. That's one of the better pitching staffs in the game of baseball. And obviously missing a guy like Christian Yelich, MVP, doesn't help. Mm-hmm. So I think that's gonna be an interesting race. I think it'll come down to the Brewers and the Cardinals in that division. So hopefully they can get him back, and we can see some good games between the Brewers and the Cardinals coming down the stretch. So,
and then Amir Garrett was suspended 7 games for inciting a benches clearing incident. I mean, if you all have seen the video, you like I don't get the suspension thing. Like these suspensions literally make 0 sense.
Shout
The
out
Reds
to
are
Amir Garrett.
Amir Garrett's a legend, man.
Amir Garrett, he doesn't care. He went to try and fight the entire Pittsburgh bench. So shout out to him.
I mean, if he did that,
our friend Jeff probably won't like that, but
I mean, if he did that in 2021, he wouldn't have much competition.
true.
They don't really have anyone over there. But anyways, then possibly the biggest news around Major League Baseball. It's kind of tough to really put this into perspective, and it's kind of hard to explain this, but Albert Pujols was designated for assignment by the Los Angeles Angels. I mean, that is just flat out disrespectful by the Angels. The Angels, like, it's not it's,
I mean, you
it's a
heard. I
shame.
think that there was like, I heard things that there was like, I don't even know what was going on. There was something going on, but there was other stuff. But I mean, especially a guy like Albert in his last year of his contract, he's gonna play somewhere else regardless.
Mhm.
But like, just going out like that just doesn't feel right.
Mhm.
A team that he's been with since 2012, he's been there the same as long as Mike Trout has, which is crazy to me. Like, they were on the same team for like, that was 2012 was Mike Trout's rookie year. So,
well, he came up briefly in 2011, so they weren't teammates for a very short amount of time. But Albert Pujols, the longest tenured active Major League player right now, he's been around since 2001. That was before we were even born. So I mean, he's been around 21 years now, I guess.
Yep.
It's insane. And it's not like he's obviously not the same player he used to be. He used to be the best hitter in baseball. And I mean, he might go down as one of the best right-handed hitters of all time. And I mean, he might be, or not one of the, he is already the one of the.
I mean, I really do think he's going to hang it up after this year, but I would like to see him go back to St. Louis, honestly. If I'm being, I mean, I've seen things where it's like Oakland,
I know,
the White Sox, and the Cardinals, but I would like to. I mean, I don't know the role. I mean, I've seen he's probably not going to have a huge role on that team. He said he wants to start
with
and get more playing time, but yeah. But
I mean, it would be awesome to see him back in St. Louis.
It would be awesome to see him back in St. Louis, but I really doubt it happens. Sadly, I don't think
without the DH. The DH, I just don't see it happening. I mean, Manfred once again messed up there without having the DH this year. I mean, to be fair, we have Yanoa for the Braves, but I mean, the fact that not having a DH might cost the Cardinals and Pujols having a reunion is just, that kind of sucks. Hard to justify this move for the Angels for a memorial standpoint. Just, it's Pujols is too much of a legend for this to happen. So, what a shame. I really hate it for him. And I mean, he's still hitting bombs. I mean, he's never stopped hitting bombs, but he's obviously not the same hitter he used to be. So, I think he was hitting 197 this year with like 5 homers or something like that. So, wish him the best of luck wherever he does wind up, if he doesn't decide to hang him up. So, I want to see him pass A-Rod on the all-time list. So, I think he's definitely he deserves it more than A-Rod. Like, I hope he's got I think he can probably play a couple more years, but he's not going to be a big help for whatever team he does end up with. So, anyways, I think we're just about out of time. I mean, this episode has been pretty long.
Yeah, they're gonna be shortened. Because we're gonna be a lot more frequently and have less to talk about. So, it's gonna be
this
good.
Episode we had to catch up on so much today.
Yeah.
So,
next week it won't be as much, and it'll definitely be a shorter podcast. And throughout the summer as we get more frequent with these. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready to get this summer going, and no school, no stress,
Yeah.
and just living life. So let's do it.
We'll see. I mean, obviously, I'm still looking for a job this summer, so I don't know. I probably won't be free all the time. But
yeah,
hopefully gonna be able to find something sometime soon. So, anyways, if you're going to be on the game tomorrow, maybe you're listening to this on the way to the game on Tuesday, May the 11th. So, come find me. I'm going to be in. What section am I going to be in? I forgot already. Hang on. Oh yeah. By the way, if you're going to game, use my promo code Braves News on SeatGeek. I didn't say that last episode, so
I will.
I'm going to be in section, I believe 140. So come say hey. I don't know what row or anything. So, my brother has the tickets on his phone, so we'll see how that goes. I'm just looking forward to being back in the stadium, being at a baseball game. So,
last one left a bitter taste in our mouth, to say the least.
I mean, to be fair, the playoff game 1, that was the last game I went to. Game 5 was the last one you went to, but we won't talk about game 5 because that's basically a cardinal sin over here in Braves country. So,
but cardinal sin. Good one.
But game 1, I mean, it was a fantastic ball game, very well fought on both sides. So, it was just a great baseball game. I know we lost, but we still still able to witness a great baseball game.
As a baseball fan, great game. As a Braves fan, not great game. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm really hoping I can get tickets to that Mets series next, or one of those games next week against the Mets. That'd be really electric atmosphere, especially if we're within like a game or two of each other in the standings, 1-2 right there. That's what I expect it to be the rest of the year, or by September it'll be the Braves and the Mets. No disrespect to the Phillies, or actually scratch that. Huge disrespect to the Phillies. I don't like them. I hate the silly Philadelphia. I mean, obviously respect all the players, there's that, but I just don't like I don't like the fans. I hate the city of Philadelphia. So, there's that. Yeah. Anyways, what we got? We
need a wallet. Of course.
We got a wallop.
It's just so hard to keep up with what wallets we've done and which ones we haven't. So, just going to have to pick one that I don't think we've done before. So I'll do this one. This one comes from September. Actually, I don't like doing these 2020 ones because there's no fans, but we got to get through them. So, this one came from September the 6th of 2020. Luke, who is it? Or you can
September 6th.
I mean, just guess who it is.
2020. Freddie Freeman.
No.
Marcell Ozuna.
MVP. It was Marcell Ozuna. Good job. This came against the Washington Nationals. Patrick Corbin, 5th inning. We were up 2-1. This made it 3-1. And this one almost cleared the bleachers. And I joked that StatCast said 370 feet. StatCast was broken last year.
Shout out to Patrick Corbin. Probably going to drop him in fantasy eventually because he has been
so bad.
I mean, to be fair, he's not much of a fantasy. He's not much of a fantasy pitcher, anyways. He's not a strikeout guy, but holy cow, he's been bad.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got Kyle Gibson, Wascarino, and JT Brubaker to make up for it. So shout out to them.
Yeah. All right. Now, we need some more walloped calls. We're starting to run out here, I think.
Yeah.
We can also reuse some here and there. Because if you've actually listened to every episode, you've listened to every walloped, we salute you. I mean, that's a lot. Anyways, Marcell Ozuna, September 6th, 2020. Our first walloped in about a week and a half. It's been a long time. We need more, Chip Carey. I mean, hopefully we get some more here.
We do need more.
The next
we haven't had have we had one? No, we've had one. That was
we've had two. We've had two this year.
Two. Yeah.
But we're not going to say who those are. But anyways, Marcell Ozuna. There we go.
Swinging a high fly ball, wallop deep left. Hope will turn and admire that, baby. Long gone by Ozuna. He pulled it just a touch too much. Otherwise, that would have hit the target left. But a long home run for Marcell, his 13th of the year. And the Braves extend their lead.
That ball was assassinated there at the end. I don't know if my microphone got that one. Anyway, it's not a bad call for no fans. It's also still like really weird to me how Chip Carey and Jeffrey and Tom Glavine, all the announcers just have to call the games from Truist Park, all the road games from Truist Park.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
They
That's something that I hope changes. That's something that I hope changes here. And
it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense.
By hopefully by like the All-Star break or something. Hopefully that changes because that's so ridiculous.
It really is. So, anyways, hopefully hopefully this episode wasn't too long. I mean, it's already it's been.
It's long, but we'll get shorter. We promise. It won't be. We're planning on shooting one out hopefully next week. Probably.
Yeah. Hopefully maybe later this week. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe we'll start shooting them after every series. We'll see. We'll have to see.
Who knows?
I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll see.
Maybe at some point that might be the goal, but
it's a long summer.
Yeah, it is a long summer. I mean, hey, I'm glad we're not in high school. I mean, I miss high school. High school was fantastic. Met some great people there. Wish I could go back a little bit, but at the same time, I like the college summers because it's about an extra month and a half. So kind of nice.
Yeah.
So, anyways, one thing that we've started doing recently here on the Talking Braves podcast is we're going to be going through all the types of Grand Slams from the last 4 or so years, going back to 2017. So, speaking of Grand Slams, how about Huascar Ynoa hitting a Grand Slam up in Washington?
Yeah. And it's still, I'm saying. Shout out to
I mean, they don't really count.
They don't count it, really but it's okay.
It's good for rake. It's good for publicity, though. Did
you see Jack? Also, did you see Jack Flaherty's bomb the other day too?
Against the Rockies, yeah.
Against the Rockies, that was a bomb.
Arenado hit a bomb yesterday, against his former team.
Arenado's a third baseman, though. Not as exciting.
I mean, but so against his former team, that's something.
So. Yeah, true.
But anyways, last Braves pitcher to hit a Grand Slam was Jaime Garcia in 2017. That came against the Los Angeles Dodgers at Dodger Stadium in LA. And they were actually traded for each other back in 2017. And I posted that on my story yesterday as a little throwback. And it's funny to revisit those comments because a lot of people at the time were against that trade because no one had ever heard of Huascar Ynoa. And I mean, people knew Jaime Garcia because he was a veteran. He had been in the majors for a while. But, we also gave up Anthony Recker, I believe, in that deal as well. That's a throwback, blast from the past. But we love recalling some of our former players on this podcast, because it's always good to revisit some of these old teams that we grew up with. So,
yeah,
that's always fun. But Jaime Garcia, they were actually traded for each other. That's still just kind of cool to me that the last two pitchers hit Grand Slams were traded for each other.
Shout out to was that still I think that was still John or no, not John or John Coppolella. Was he still the GM at the time?
I believe so.
I want to say he was. I think Alex Anthopoulos was hired in 2018. So shout out to John Coppolella for making that happen.
Honestly, John Coppolella, I don't get why his punishment was that severe when the Astros got
banned for life. That's ridiculous. For life? That is ridiculous.
That's just insane. That is insane to me. And but to be fair, he deserves a lot of credit. Without him, this team wouldn't be where they are today. So
yeah, sure.
But yes, he was banned for life after the 2017 season. So
ridiculous.
And we lost Kevin Maitan, so that was heartbreaking. But fortunately for us, Kevin Maitan, once he went to the Angels organization, he was terrible. He has been bad in the minors. He was the top prospect that we lost, and he was brutal. So
luckily that didn't come back to bite us too much. It hasn't been.
Yeah.
So
anyways, we're doing Grand Slams to finish off every episode. So this one comes from August 20th, 2017. We have mentioned this guy early in the podcast. So, who is it, Luke?
Grand Slam.
Yep.
Mentioned this guy, did we know? When was the date? What was the date?
August 20th, 2017, against Cincinnati. This was against who's this pitcher? Hang on. Drew Storen.
We mentioned this. I have no clue.
I don't know, we mentioned a lot of guys this episode.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since you even guessed players. This is your mind might be a little rusty.
Tyler Flowers.
Yeah, there we go.
Did I actually get it?
Yeah,
let's go.
Tyler Flowers, bomb. Hey, we told y'all he was good in 2017, 2018. You know.
Hey, I'm getting better at this guessing stuff. I don't know.
I mean, it took you a while to spell out the guess, but you know, it was.
Hey, but I got it first try, so.
Yeah, I mean, not many people are guessing Tyler Flowers first try. You know.
True.
So, Tyler Flowers grand slam. This was his 11th bomb on the season. So, Tyler Flowers. Hey, once upon a time, he was a good baseball player. I mean, that's hard for people to believe. But anyways, before we head out, we didn't even do this last episode, but please go check us out on social media. Everything is in the description. If you want to donate to us, that's in the description. Everything is down there. Our email, social media, YouTube channel, everything is down there for y'all to go check out. So definitely go over there. Leave us a good review if you like us. If you don't like us, then email us, tell us why. Don't leave a bad review like Lonnie. So anyways, hopefully I might see some of y'all at the game tomorrow. I don't know. Who knows? Come say hey. I'll be in section, what did I say, 140? I'll be over there. Hey, check us out on the YouTube channel to know what I look like if you don't know. Or you could just look at on my social media account. I'm private, so I don't know. Just find me. I'll be there.
Yep.
Anyways, Tyler Flowers, thank you everyone for listening. It truly does mean a lot that you take time out of your day to listen to us rant about Braves baseball. It's great. I mean, it does mean a lot. So we appreciate you. Yes. And hopefully this wasn't too long. It is too long. So, but anyways, if you're still here, we appreciate you.
Like I said, like 4 times, it's gonna get shorter. We promise. So. Thank you. If you have stuck it out, we appreciate it.
It won't be 2 weeks between episodes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Sure.
So anyways, without further ado, thank you all for listening, and we will catch you all in episode 27 very soon. See y'all.
Peace, guys.
Fly ball belted deep toward left.